And in this week's video, I want to talk about why you shouldn't quit your book. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tara East. I'm a writer, blogger, YouTuber, and the author of the mystery novel Every Time He Dies. And in this week's video, I want to talk about why you shouldn't quit your book. What do you do when a project starts to feel stagnant? Quit and start something new, obviously. Just kidding, mostly. Shiny new object syndrome is most likely to strike when your creative project slips from pure play to mostly work. We sometimes consider giving up on our books when the writing gets tough. Maybe we feel uncertain about where the story is really going, or maybe our grand idea now seems kind of boring, predictable, and unoriginal. The problem is that our new idea doesn't seem like any of those things. Our new idea is magical and malleable and magnificent. It is also unfamiliar and exciting. When we get a new idea for a project, there are 1,000 activities to pursue. New story ideas are kernels that need to be fleshed out. That means you need to conduct content research, develop an outline, construct new characters, figure out the genre, decide on the location, and there are a million easy to identify decisions that need to be made. You need to build the foundation of the story, a process that involves creativity, imagination, and deep thinking. This is completely different to writing a first, second, or third draft. Once all those fun and juicy decisions have been made, you're left with the very hard task of actually writing the book. All of a sudden, writing has gone from a world of colorful play to write book, edit book, publish.
And that just sounds kind of hard.
So how do you make these steps more doable? We've all heard that you need to break down big goals into smaller, more manageable chunks. But I'm going to go one step further and suggest that you identify a range of micro wins. Preferably, these should be the types of tasks that you can finish in one session or within a week. Creating a bunch of tiny goals can help reinvigorate your enthusiasm for the project because you can see progress is being made. Of course, if your new ideas continue to stick around, there is no harm in giving them some of your time. You are allowed to work on multiple projects at once, but you may need to decide which project will get the bulk of your efforts and which ones are still in a state of development. The author V.E. Schwab has said that she usually has multiple projects on the go, but they are all at different stages. She can do line edits on one book while drafting another, and she usually lets stories simmer for several years before she begins to write them in earnest. You're allowed to think, dream, tinker, and develop the new story ideas that come to you. But there is a level of commitment that is needed to see a project through to completion. Writing isn't always pure play, and to reach those glorious words, the end, you sometimes need to do the grunt work and stay with the project even when it's become stagnant. Identifying some tiny goals to measure the forward movement of your project is one way to keep yourself in the writing chair. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How do you deal with shiny new project syndrome? And how do you keep yourself committed to the book you're currently working on and not quit, even when it starts to get boring and even when it starts to feel like work? I'd love to know, so please leave a comment below. Now, if you'd like even more writing advice, you can of course check out the other videos on this channel, or you can go to taraeast.com and dive into the archives. While you're there, please consider joining my email newsletter. When you do, I'll send you a free gift, plus you'll get a newsletter in your inbox every single Thursday morning, including a note by me, links to that week's blog and video, some resources I've recently loved and think you will too, and some other tidbits that I only share via email. Thank you so much for being here again this week. I really appreciate it. Stay safe, stay calm, and keep writing, because the world actually does need more books.